Hello Year 6 and welcome to your next geography lesson. So as always, let me share my screen so that we can see what is happening. And let me just see if I can make that a little bit bigger. Don't see all necessary information. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the differences between non-renewable and renewable energy sources. I had to say that quite slowly because I got a little bit tongue-tied. So we know we're thinking about the environment and our planet in this half-term geography. So hopefully by the end of today, we'll know where our energy comes from and that the impact that producing that energy can have. So let's just rewind to what we thought about last week. We thought about sustainability. And sustainability is ensuring that the planet and all of its resources can continue to provide a home for us as humans, the animals and the plants that live here. So it's our job to take care of the planet and to ensure that future generations of people and animals can live and thrive on Earth. And we've all seen everything in the news about lots of different effects that are happening across the world: global warming, the ice caps melting, temperature changes. All these things that we hear on the news is all linked to our planet and ensuring that it can survive into the future. So why is it important to be sustainable? Oh, I think we did this last week. Am I on the right page? I don't think I am. Let's just have a check. Let's just go back. No. Oh, dear. Okay. We talked about sustainability. I am just going to carry on because I found the page that we should be doing. And what I needed to then do is we have a little look at last week's waste check. So let me share my other camera with you to see my little... So we looked at... I asked you to look at your waste for the week. So let me just check that this is in focus. Okay, so I've got my recycling bin, which really was mostly cardboard and plastic bottles. My food waste was mainly fruit and tea bags. Been drinking quite a lot of tea whilst I've been at home and eating quite a lot of fruit. My rubbish wasn't too bad. It was mainly plastic wrappers and things that aren't yet recyclable. So I've seen lots of yours and we're sort of probably similar for waste in a week. So let's go back to my screen and let's go back to that sharing. So we've done our waste check of what we had last week, and you might have noticed maybe more recycling, more plastic. It depends what sort of week you've had. So again, we're thinking about the differences between non-renewable and renewable energy sources, but we need to understand what they mean. So again, I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully this is all working and it's all, you are seeing it correctly on the screen. Slideshow, let me just check that that's okay. Yes, ta-da! Okay, so renewable and non-renewable energy. Renewable energy. So what is it? So this comes from natural resources that are naturally replenished, naturally put back, such as the sunlight, wind, and the waves. It naturally happens and it continues to happen. Non-renewable. So non-renewable energy comes from natural resources that are not naturally replaced, such as coal and oil. So like when it's gone, we can't get it back. Unlike the sun that will come out every day. I mean, it might not be as bright every day, but we know it will come out every day. Once the oil and the coal and certain gases have gone, that's it. So what do we use our energy for? We use our energy to cook our food, to heat our homes, and water. We need energy to power our cars. We need diesel, petrol, or electricity for fuel. We use electricity to power lots of things, such as lights, televisions, computers, the devices. You're using lots more electricity at the moment because we're asking you to watch your screens, either on the television or on a computer. All this is using electricity. I think that should be why don't we use renewable energy all the time. So non-renewable sources, such as coal and oil, can be stored and used when they're needed. So we can get the coal out, we can get the oil out, we can store it, and until the time as we need it, then we can use it. So that can be stored. Okay. Renewable energy, such as the wind or the sun, can't be stored to be used whenever. Yes, if we've got solar panels, they store a little bit for now, but we wouldn't be able to do the whole of the world, so to speak, with these resources. The non-renewable, so the coal and the oil, is usually cheaper than the renewable, which means not everybody can afford to use the renewable energy. I know there's lots of words there, non-renewable, renewable. So if the wind doesn't blow, or if it isn't very sunny, there may not be enough power for everyone. So there might be a bit of power, but not enough for everyone. So, renewable energy. Solar energy comes from the sun, can be used to give us heat energy, and solar panels are used to convert sunlight into electricity. You may have solar panels on your house, I don't know. You may not. You may have seen them on other people's houses. So they store the sunlight and can convert it into electricity. Wind turbines. Usually you see them out in the fields, or you see them in the, they are in the sea as well. They convert the wind energy to electricity. The wind blows the blades round and the movement is converted into electricity. And a group of wind turbines is called a wind farm. Hydropower. Looking at the picture, where do you think that comes from? Yes, it comes from moving water. Water that flows down fast-flowing rivers is used to spin turbines that generate electricity. Not just rivers, waves at sea. The movement of waves at sea can also be used to generate electricity. Geothermal energy. That's a new one. So geothermal energy is thermal energy generated and stored in the earth. It's always very warm underground. Even if it's cold on the surface, it's warm underground. So we collect the heat from underground and use it to heat our houses. Okay, the lava from a volcano shows how hot it is underground. That's called geothermal. Biomass energy. So biomass means natural material. Energy can be obtained by burning natural waste materials such as scrap pieces of wood, dead trees, unused parts of crops. You can even burn the gas produced by cow manure to make energy. So these are all renewable sources of energy. Not everybody can afford them. Storage can also be a problem. Coal energy. So is that renewable or non-renewable? Non-renewable, Miss Hersey, because once it's gone, it's gone. So coal is mined from under the ground and burned in large power stations to produce electricity. As I've said, the coal that we use cannot be replaced. So one day there won't be any coal left. However, burning coal is bad for the environment because lots of carbon dioxide gets released into the atmosphere. So it's pros and cons. It's different things, but affects how different people think and feel about non-renewable. Oil energy, again, non-renewable. Oil is found deep underground and is pumped to the surface for us to use. Oil is burned at some power stations to make electricity, and it's also used to make the fuel that we use in our cars. Again, if we keep using oil, there will eventually be none left. Nuclear energy. Nuclear power stations use uranium as fuel to make electricity. Uranium is a natural resource taken from the ground, so it is not renewable. Once it's gone, it's gone. Doesn't produce much waste, so it's a very clean way of generating energy. Gas energy. Again, natural gas found deep underground and is pumped into our homes. We use it to cook, burn in the boiler, and heat our water. Again, the gas will one day run out and there won't be any more to use. Let me just stop that share and go back to my other screen, which should be this one. So hopefully, I know that was quite a lot to take in, and you can always rewind and go back and to listen to that again. Renewable, non-renewable. And we're doing this so we know where our energy comes from and the impact that in the future it's going to have. So we're understanding the differences between non-renewable and renewable. So we've got our two cards. What do they mean? Have a little pause, and have a little think about what each of these words mean. Okay, hopefully you've had a little think and we can reveal the answers. Renewable. Renewable energy comes from natural sources, sun, wind, waves. Therefore, non-renewable comes from coal and oil, things that we can't replace. Once they are gone, they are gone. So remember those two. Renewable, natural, can be replaced. Non-renewable comes from natural, but once it's gone and can't be replaced. So the next little bit, I want you to get a scrap piece of paper maybe, and after each slide, I want you to pause it and each of the words to write renewable or non-renewable next to them. They describe whether the energy is renewable or isn't renewable. Non-renewable, renewable. Okay, first one coming up. So when you see the slide, have a pause, jot down what you think. You can even make a little list of non-renewable one side, renewable the other side. Let's see. So pause the video, have a look at these. Solar power, wind energy, geothermal power, biomass energy. Are they renewable or non-renewable? Next one, hydroelectricity, coal, natural gas, oil. Are they renewable, non-renewable? Pause the video. Next one, nuclear power. Pause the video, have a think, add it to your list. Okay, let's find out to see what you've got. So hopefully you've got 2 columns of renewable and non-renewable. And we are going to put this into our book. I'm just going to show you what it could look like, hopefully. Let's change the, let me make sure I get the right page to show you in my book before I do the camera. So let's have a little look. Hopefully this you can see. So I've made a list of renewable and non-renewable energies to remind me so that I can always refer back. So pause the video, check if you got yours right, and then you can complete your table in your book. I did add extra information just to help me to remember what each of them was. You don't have to, that's up to you, gives you a little hint. So pause the video and complete that table. So hopefully you've got back to that. I'll leave that in the corner for the moment. So that's our first thing we need to just complete the table to remind us about renewable and non-renewable. Your next thing, let me just find that actually on the page. If I just turn back, that will go there. We'll have a little look at that in more detail in a minute. Because this is the next thing I want you to have a little think about. So this should be attached somewhere that you can either print off or you can get a closer look at. Like I gave you that little challenge of what waste for the week have you collected. This is what have we done this week to help the environment? What have we done this week to help the environment this week? Oh, I've got this week in twice there. So 4 things that I want you to think about. What you will do this week to help the environment. Maybe what your family could do to help the environment. What maybe the class could do to help the environment. And maybe coming up with a pledge for this half term of what you are going to do to help the environment. Let's have a little look at the camera. Hopefully that will, let me just see if I can focus that a little bit. So what I'm going to do this week to help the environment. Well, one of the things for the energy, to save energy, is to turn my television off at night, okay, at the plug. So that will help save energy rather than leaving it on standby. There might be one that I could save water energy. I'm not going to write that down, but maybe you can think of one that how can you save the water this week? As a family, to save energy, we could turn off the lights when we leave a room. My sister's always leaving lights on in her house. I'm forever going around and telling her and turning them off just to save electricity. Okay, that's something we could do as a family. So maybe there's a couple of things that you could do as a family, a couple of things that you could do yourself. In class, any ideas of what the class could do to help with the environment? They could be similar to what you're doing at home. They could be something new. And my pledge, I'd like you to have a little go at completing that. So that's what you're going to have a go at this week. Let me just go back to my screen. So we're back on this one. So, and you can upload what you're going to be doing as yourself, as a family, and be interested to see what your pledges are for saving the planet. Okay. So you can always rewind and go back to any of the things we've looked at. Look online. Let me just go back to moi, which means me in French. Hello, there we go. So hopefully you found lots of interesting things this week and made you think about saving energy, or how you can as an individual, because that's where we need to start as an individual. What can I do myself? Then I go to my family, and then it moves out from there. So have a little think about that. Upload your work and all your ideas, and hopefully we can get a discussion going. And maybe the next few weeks when we're back in class, we can discuss everything that we've learned. Okay, bye for now.